What's up everybody, this is Slaan here from Northern Lan, and today we are going to have a quick look at Project Slaanhatten, the Let's Get Wet edition, which has just been released via the forums and is now available for download if you want to try it out. It's just going to be a quick little video. I'm going to have a little fly around and just give you a look while I'm at for 5 minutes and let you know what it's all about. So basically we have a custom hub for random gen that I think I can safely say is fairly unique, and it is probably also the biggest custom hub that anybody's done so far, and I would like to think it's going to be the biggest one that anybody is ever going to do. The idea was, because I've been working on this for nearly 3 months now, that if I produced something that was this big and this detailed, I was kind of hoping that people would, rather than do their own thing, would like to get involved themselves. People who have... Oh my god. Right, I'm just going to stop right there because that we have a good example of a handful of bugs which you will commonly see. Now, these invisible walls a lot of the time can be fixed with frames. I think this particular type of glitch is caused by a density issue in the prefabs, and I haven't worked on this section for a little while, so a lot of these still need to be pulled through the editor and tapped up and corrected. But like I say, if you're going to use this on a dedicated server, I would recommend you find yourself a good seed and have a quick check of the hub before you make it public. If there's anything terrible, like I say, just get the frames out and you can sort all that stuff straight away, or break it even more. I'll leave that for now though, but what I will say is all of the known issues that I've come across so far, which would include invisible terrain, the little voxel artifacts which you can see poking out the sides here, certain sections of the city with tall buildings on might not spawn if the seed that you're playing with has the hub sitting too high. If any prefabs clip below bedrock or through the sky limit, then that whole section will be erased, and because the city is built out of 117 by 117 size tiles, if one of those sections doesn't spawn in, then it's going to look pretty bad. But I've included a few seeds on the forums that I've been using for testing, like this one now. That everything sits reasonably well. So the idea is it's far from finished. It's very rough. I don't intend these stone areas to be like this all the time, but as you can guess from the size of the hub itself, it's going to take time, and it's been 99% a one-man band job, so you know, bear with us. But as you can see, there's custom buildings that you won't have seen. This particular is the Sandown Court prefab that I created. It's located in the not so many fabs folder within the editor build within the project folder, and I think it's 45 by 45, so it could be used in a city. I actually forgot it was something I'd built in Alpha 12 and didn't find it again until after Alpha 13, so I decided I'd get a couple in there. Love Dog's Hell gas station, you'll have to harass him for that because I pinched it out with Dogtown. But as you can see, you've got a large section of city to play around with and enjoy. It works reasonably well in single player and local co-op with the zombies. Spawns don't seem to be as much of an issue. With dedicated server, I guess is going to be tied down to the same issues that we'll have at the moment anyway. But you are more than welcome to download the pack folder and use it however you wish. I wouldn't recommend that you mess around too much with the prefabs or the code within the mixer, because as I release new versions, if you don't mess with anything, you will literally just be able to copy and paste the new prefabs in the new sections of the hub layout code into your mixer to add anything else that I do. So it's a complex system to build with at first because it breaks away from the traditional custom hub method. it breaks away from every traditional thing, to be perfectly honest, but to good effect. To very good effect, I would say. I mean, I've had loads of fun just testing it on my own in single player, and I cannot wait to get more people involved. Now, prefabbers of all experience are welcome to come along and start taking a look and getting some ideas together, because anybody who can use HAL 9000's rather awesome prefab editing tool to extract a prefab and work with the editor to trim a prefab down to a set size, then basically you can be a part of Slaanhatten. If you're one of those guys who likes to do the little details, you know, you want to do the barricades on the roads, or the, I don't know, the lived-in effects on the houses, you know, did these residents survive? Maybe the ones in this house boarded everything up and were killed inside. This house could have been set on fire and have a car crash in front of it and through the wall. There's a lot of little details that are going to really break up the repeated sort of effect, because personally I love these streets and the way that they look, and I've had a few complaints about, oh, you've used the same prefab over and over again, and to be honest, I don't care. I think they look really good. Lasman done an awesome job in building a prefab that, in my eyes, it's the picturesque inner city residential building for the middle class, shall we say, for the people who don't want to live in the countryside and don't want to commute for 3 hours to get to work. This is where I picture them staying. And there we go, we find one of the only rotational things in one of these buildings in the first video that I do. But one thing I will say is downtown is still largely untouched from the concept stage that I first created, and I intend to come back over this area in the next version, as well as giving you a way to actually drive up onto the highway and working on the south side of the river. But for now, I hope your mouth's watering. I hope you are racing towards the 7 Days to Die forums to download and have a run through yourself. I really cannot wait to hear from yous, and I would love to maybe do a building series, because once the hub approaches, I would say I'm about 70% done, in that I've set down the foundations and 70% of the area I initially want to use up. Once that full area has been set in, then it'll be going back over each part in a bit more detail. I mean, even things like the little hills and rocks and trees, you know, I'd spend hours, absolutely hours, just doing things like this over the whole of the hub itself. But I think it's a lot more important to just get the buildings and stuff like that that people can play with in there first. I think the sooner people realise what it is that I've done, and can get a look at the mixer and see for themselves how it's been done, I'm hoping it's going to be quite a popular way for people to, when instead of just making a custom hub and putting a single building in a cell in the middle of nowhere, you could maybe start thinking, well, actually, let's make that part of Slaanhatten. You know, you can send us a message with your idea. We can maybe work out where you'd like it to go. Maybe you'd want to put it within an existing area. Perfectly fine as well. I will work with absolutely anybody who shows any interest whatsoever. The goal is to not make the biggest custom hub. I mean, it is by a long shot the biggest, and probably it's going to be the biggest for a long time. I don't see anybody, apart from Loaf Dog. I suppose he may eventually eclipse us, but I've got a good head start on him, so we'll see. And all of his work is going to be fully compatible with Slaanhatten anyway, so thumbs up to him for embracing the idea, because it's going to be magical. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that you've enjoyed what you have seen so far. I hope you have seen glimpses of enough to make you want to come in and check it out properly. I hope that you're going to like and subscribe. I've been thinking about doing a building series showing you the hub itself as it starts to develop more, and I'm very interested in starting to do that sort of thing now. So if I get, say, a handful of subscribers, then maybe I'll start recording a few more videos and showing you the in-between process, instead of just saying here is almost a square kilometre of built up landscape. But until then, this is Slaan from Northern Gaming and Northern Land, sorry. Big C902, I know will be kicking us in the face for that. Check out the website, check out my blogs, check out the forums, and hopefully I'll see you soon.